Have you ever looked back at a relationship and thought, how did things go so wrong? Many relationships don't fail because people don't care. They fail because of patterns, choices, and mistakes that quietly damage the connection over time. The truth is, relationships can teach us some of the most powerful lessons in life, but often we only recognize them after the damage is done. In this video, we're going to explore 10 of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships and the wisdom life eventually teaches us after building healthier connections. Some of these lessons may completely change how you see the relationships in your life. Relationships shape our emotional world. They influence our peace, our growth, and sometimes even the direction of our lives. But no relationship is immune to mistakes. The key is learning the lessons early enough to grow in wisdom. So stay with me until the end because the final key may be exactly what you need to change your life. So sit back, relax, and let's explore 10 common mistakes people make in relationships. 1. Ignoring red flags. Many people ignore warning signs in the beginning because they want the relationship to work. But patterns often reveal character. Red flags are not always dramatic or obvious. Often they are small behaviors or patterns that quietly reveals a person's character, values, or emotional maturity. But when emotions are involved, people sometimes choose to dismiss these signals. They tell themselves maybe it's just a bad day, everyone have flaws, or it will get better with time. Sometimes the desire for companionship, affection, or hope for the future causes people to silence their intuition. Yet red flags are often early signs that something is not healthy or sustainable in the relationship. Proverbs 27 verse 12 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keeps going and pay the penalty." Discernment protects the heart. Number 2, expecting someone to change. Another major mistake people make in relationships is entering the relationship with the expectation that the other person will eventually change. Sometimes people recognize behaviors early on, habits, attitudes, or patterns that create discomfort. But instead of addressing the reality, they convince themselves that time, love, or patience will transform the person. They may say things like, once we get closer, they will change. They will grow out of it. If I love them enough, they will become different. But relationships built on the hope of future changes instead of the reality of present behavior often struggle over time. Change must come from a personal willingness, not pressure. That's the only time someone will effect changes in their life. It must come from their own personal willingness to change and from not you trying to change them. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says that we must be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Real change occurs when someone chooses growth internally, not when someone else expects it. Number 3, poor communication. Another major mistake people make in relationships is poor communication. Communication is the bridge that allows two people to understand each other's thoughts, emotions, and expectations. When that bridge becomes weak or broken, misunderstanding begins to grow. Many relationships do not collapse because love disappears. They struggle because communication slowly breaks down over time. Instead of expressing concerns honestly, people sometimes choose silence, avoidance, or emotional reactions. Over time, unspoken feelings accumulate, and what could have been resolved through simple conversations becomes a deeper conflict. James chapter 1:12 tells us that everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Number 4, lack of respect. Another major mistake people make in relationships is allowing disrespect to take root and remain unaddressed. Respect is one of the most important foundations of a healthy relationship. It shapes how people speak to each other, how they handle disagreements, and how they value each other's feelings and boundaries. Affection alone cannot sustain a relationship if disrespect is missing. When respect begins to fade, the relationship gradually shifts from a place of mutual honor to one of frustration and emotional strain. Number 5, neglecting boundaries. Another common mistake people make in relationships is neglecting or failing to establish healthy boundaries. Boundaries are the limits that define what is acceptable, respectful, and healthy in a relationship. They help individuals maintain their emotional well-being, personal values, and sense of identity. However, many people hesitate to establish boundaries because they fear appearing selfish, unkind, or difficult. Instead of communicating their limits clearly, they may tolerate behaviors that make them uncomfortable or unhappy. Over time, this silence can allow unhealthy patterns to grow. Every person is on a journey, and sometimes the right conversation at the right time can change everything. Number 6, one-sided effort. Another common mistake people make in relationships is allowing the relationship to be sustained by only one person's effort. Healthy relationships require mutual investment, both people contributing their time, care, attention, and emotional support. However, in some relationships, one person gradually becomes the one who always initiates communication, resolves conflicts, makes sacrifices, and keeps the relationship functioning. At first, this may feel manageable. The person may believe that their effort is simply an expression of love. But over time, when effort is not reciprocated, the relationship can become imbalanced and emotionally exhausting. Number 7, holding on to past hurts. Another significant mistake people make in relationships is holding on to past pain without addressing or healing it. Every person carries experiences from previous relationships, disappointments, or emotional wounds. These experiences can shape how people think, trust, and respond to situations. However, when past hurt is not processed or released, it can quickly influence the present relationship. Instead of seeing the current partner clearly, someone may respond through the lens of past pain, fear, or disappointment. Over time, this can create misunderstanding, tension, and emotional distance. Ephesians 4:31 to 32 admonishes us to get rid of bitterness, rage, and anger, and be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other. Number 8, prioritizing ego over peace. Another common mistake people make in relationships is prioritizing ego over peace. Ego is the part of us that wants to be right, to be understood without explaining, to protect pride, even at the cost of connection. Some people would rather win an argument than preserve the relationship. In moments of disagreement, instead of seeking understanding, people may focus on winning the argument. They may think, I'm not apologizing first. They need to see that I'm right. Why should I be the one to fix it? And in those moments, something subtle but powerful happens. The relationship becomes less important than being right. Number 9, taking each other for granted. Another common mistake people make in relationships is taking each other for granted. At the beginning of a relationship, there is often appreciation, attentiveness, and intentional effort. People notice the little things, they express gratitude, they make time. But over time, familiarity can replace intentionality. What was once appreciated becomes expected. What was once valued becomes overlooked. And slowly, without realizing it, people stop nurturing the very connection they once cherished. Number 10, losing sight of purpose. Another mistake people make in relationships is losing sight of purpose. Every meaningful relationship has a foundation beyond feelings. It is built on shared values, direction, and intention. In the beginning, there is often clarity. Why we are together, what we are building, where we are going. But over time, distractions, routine, and unresolved issues can slowly shift the focus. Instead of moving forward with intention, the relationship begins to operate on habit rather than purpose. And when purpose fades, direction is often lost. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, "Two are better than one. If either of them falls, one can help the other up." Relationships can be one of life's greatest blessings, but they can also be some of our greatest teachers. The mistakes we make often become the wisdom we carry forward. When we learn from those experiences, we grow not only in relationships, but also in character. I would love to hear from you. In the comments, please put or say which relationship lesson has life taught you the most. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. Thank you. In closing, let me leave you with this wisdom key. Every experience in life carries a lesson, and wisdom comes when we choose to learn from it. More love, more light. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep moving forward on life's journey.